QuizbrainPuzzlers presents Fun Facts about the Champions League, Part 2. Let's get started. Which team won the inaugural edition of the Champions League? Real Madrid. Which player has the most Champions League titles? Francisco Gento. What is the stadium that has hosted the Champions League final the most times? Wembley Stadium. Who is the all-time leading goal scorer in the Champions League? Cristiano Ronaldo. Which club has lost the most Champions League finals? Juventus. What was the highest scoring match in a Champions League game? Liverpool 8-0 Besiktas. Which player has scored in the most consecutive Champions League finals? Alfredo Di Stefano. Which country has the most different club champions? England. Which club was the first to successfully defend their title? Benfica. Which final had the most goals scored? Real Madrid versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Which player scored goals in two different finals with different clubs? Samuel Eto'o. Which manager has won the Champions League with the most different clubs? Carlo Ancelotti. Which was the first English club to win the Champions League? Manchester United. Which team overturned a 3-goal deficit in the semi-finals? Deportivo La Coruña. Which country had the most clubs in the group stage in a single season? England. Which player was sent off in two different finals? Didier Drogba. Which team most recently won the Champions League unbeaten? FC Barcelona. In which year was the Champions League expanded to include more teams in the group stage? (1997). Which club won the Champions League after being eliminated in the group stage the previous season? Chelsea. Who is the oldest player to score in a Champions League final? Paolo Maldini. Which club lost the final at home? As Roma. Which player holds the record for most goals in a single Champions League season? Cristiano Ronaldo. Which team achieved the most surprising comeback in a final? Liverpool, 2005. Who was the youngest player to play in a Champions League final? Patrick Kluivert. Which club was the first to win the Champions League 3 times in a row? Bayern Munich. Which player scored a hat-trick in a Champions League final? Ferenc Puskás. Which team was the first to win the Champions League without losing a single game? Nottingham Forest. Who scored the fastest goal in a Champions League final? Paolo Maldini. Which club won the Champions League with the fewest number of victories? Chelsea. Which player has won the Champions League with the most different clubs? Clarence Seedorf. What was the longest winning streak by a team in the Champions League? Bayern Munich. What is the nationality of the referee who has officiated the most Champions League finals? English. Which team was the first to lose a Champions League final on penalties? Juventus. Which player converted the decisive penalty in the first penalty shootout in a Champions League final? Franz Beckenbauer. Which club is known for losing 3 consecutive Champions League finals? Stade de Reims. What is the record attendance for a Champions League final? $120,000 spectators. Who was the first player to be sent off in a Champions League final? Jens Lehmann. Which team completed the biggest comeback in the aggregate score of the quarterfinals? Deportivo La Coruña. Which team was the first to fail to successfully defend their title in the Champions League era? Marseille. Which team had the most different players scoring in a single Champions League season? Bayern Munich. How many did you get right? Share in the comments and suggest new quizzes. Subscribe, leave your like, and hit the bell for more knowledge adventures.